Hey guys, I'm back, and this week we're working in chapters 9 and 10. Chapter 9 focuses on creating and designing graphs, and of course this is in our textbook Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud Revealed by Chris Botello. And in this particular exercise we are going to work on creating a graph. It's lesson 9.1b in your textbook, and our first step will be to open Illustrator document 9-1. So we're going to go to Illustrator, do File, and Open. And we're going to look for our data files, which of course I have not activated yet, so I'll be back in just a second. Alright, again, we are going to go to Illustrator, do a File, and Open. And we're looking for Chapter 9 data files, which are here. And then once we've opened the Chapter 9 data files, we're going to look for 9-1. I'm going to move this over here. First, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so we can see them side by side. And there we go. We want to verify that we're using inches as our general unit of measure. And I do that a little bit differently. I just go to View and Show Rulers. And I can do Control or right click if you're on a PC, Control click if you're on a Mac, and I see that I'm doing inches as my general unit of measure. Then we're going to click Column Graph tool in the toolbox. So we're going to move this over so we can see it a little bit better. This is the column graph tool. J is the quick key. And then we're going to click in the center of the artboard. The dialog box pops up, and then we're going to type 6 in the width and 4 in the height, and then click OK. The graph data window appears in front of the graph and consists of rows and columns. The inspection of a row and a column, the intersection of a row and column is called a cell. The first cell, which is selected, contains the number of 1.00 as sample data to create a temporary structure for the graph. The appearance of the graph will change as we enter data. Alright, so we're going to press delete, and then we are going to press tab to eliminate the one from the first cell and select text in the first row. Select the next cell in the first row. You must always remove the number 1 from the first cell before entering data. So we're going to type low, press tab. We're going to type high and press tab, and then type average and press tab. And we'll have entered 3 legend datas. 3 legend labels. Geez, can't read this morning. We're going to click the second cell in the first column. We're going to type in January or Jan. Press enter, or return if you're on a Mac. Type Feb. Press enter or return. Alright, we're going to do this again. Jan, press enter or return. Feb, enter or return. March. And we've entered 3 category labels. Compare the positions of our labels with those shown in figure 3 in your textbook or mine on the screen. And again, the top are identified as the legend labels, the side as the category labels. Category labels are listed vertically, legend labels are listed horizontally, and if you enter the labels incorrectly, you can click the transpose rows column in the graph box to switch them on and off. All right, so we want to enter the remaining data as shown on the artboard using Tab and Enter if you're on a Windows, or Tab and Return if you're on a Mac, and the 4 arrow keys on your keyboard to move between cells. All right, we are still entering data. We're on the February. We're going to enter 12, 40, and 26. And then we're going to click in the March column, first column, hit 30, 52, and 41. And hit Tab. Often you'll want to create labels that consist of numbers, such as a zip code or the year. Since these labels are meant to describe categories, they must be set in quotes so that Illustrator will not mistake them for data that should be plotted. All right, we're going to close the graph data window, saving the changes we made, then using the selection tool, reposition the graph on the artboard if it's not centered. I'm going to click Apply. Move this over a little bit so we can see it. With the selection tool, we're going to click and drag and center this onto the artboard. Might be a little easier for you because you're doing this. You're not trying to do it in half a page. All right, now one thing that I do want to mention is if you have these pink highlighted letters and numerals as well, that just simply means that the text that the design was originally developed in is different than we have on our system. And so I am going to see if I can't change that because that drives me nuts. There we go. I just bumped it down to Myriad Pro, which is a design that's the same font family. It's just a different, just a little bit different. It's made for my system, and that did take care of those red highlighted annoyances. All right, and we want to save our work. Do a Command or Control. Well, we'll do a Save As because we can't. We want to rename it. So this is 9-1. Underscore your name and first initial, and there we go. And you'll see that our data starts at 0, tops out at 60, and then the numbers low, high, and average for January, February, and March. We defined the graph, entered the 3 legend labels, 3 category labels, and the numbers in the graph data window. Now, if we want to change the number of decimal points in the graph data, numbers in the graph data window are initially displayed with 2 decimals, which I'm sure you saw as we were entering. For example, if you type the number 86, it appears as 86.00. To modify the number of decimals in any or all of the cells in the graph data window, you want to click the cells that you want to change, then click the cell style button, and that dialog box opens, and then you can increase or decrease the number of decimals to change that too. All right, that does it for this first little demo. I will be back in a little bit to do a second one for you. See you in a few.